Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to some more Apex. Hope you're having a very good day as always. And one of the most controversial topics right now in season 14 is the introduction of the laser sights. If you guys don't know, Respawn basically removed all barrel stabilizers for SMGs in season 14, and now we have the laser sight attachment to replace barrel stabilizers for SMGs. So we're just about 3 weeks into season 14 now, and it seems like players want the laser sights removed completely. One of the biggest arguments against laser sights in season 14 is that it just clutters up the loot pool and it makes it that more difficult to find attachments that you actually want to use in season 14, right? And I kind of agree to a certain extent. The loot pool right now is a lot more congested. There's so much more stuff in the loot pool because now you have all of these different tiers of laser sights. But I also kind of feel like the laser sights just don't do enough, in my opinion, to justify them taking up all of this space in the loot pool. So I recently saw this post, or should I say this discussion on Reddit, right? And basically what it says is, what do we all think of the laser sight attachment? And the comments underneath this post kind of suggest that people just don't really care too much about the laser sights being in the game. One person actually said this: I don't hate the laser sights, but I do prefer the stabilizers. The stabilizers just made the game feel more fluid because of how seamlessly you could swap the attachments when picking up an AR. Someone also replied and said this: I don't see the point in cleaning up the loot pool if they're also going to add an extra layer of complication to looting. I'd rather have them just give the stabilizers a different effect on SMGs than on ARs, instead of worsening the loot pool. And lastly, someone said, I thought they were going to introduce laser sights as an alternative to stabilizers, not a special kind of barrel mod you need for SMGs. Overall, the barrel mod slot is severely underused. There should also be silencers as a barrel mod option. So as you guys can see, the opinions right now surrounding barrel stabilizers in Apex are very mixed. Although I feel like most players would just prefer how things were before season 14, I feel like Respawn hopefully is taking a look at this feedback and trying to, come up with some way to, appease all players. Personally, for me, I just feel like the laser sights don't do enough, as I said, to justify them taking up all of this space in the loot pool. I understand what Respawn was trying to do in season 14, so I give them props for at least trying, but I feel like it just doesn't really work right now in the current loot pool of Apex. It obviously isn't a game breaking issue. It isn't like, this would break the game if Respawn doesn't revert the barrel stabilizers to how they were before, but I just feel like it is something that Respawn should look at moving forward, and hopefully in season 15 or even the mid-season 14 update we could see some kind of change to the way the current system works with the laser sights and the SMGs and the loot pool, because right now it kind of just feels, as I said, it feels really congested, right? I wouldn't even mind if Respawn just had one laser sight attachment, and the more damage you do, it levels up to different tiers. So like you start off with a base laser sight, you do damage, you get a blue, then you get a purple, and even possibly a legendary version of it, because that way you have to do damage, you also have to play the game, and it rewards you for being aggressive and doing damage, right? So even if Respawn just introduced or just changed it to having one laser sight mod for everything, I feel like even that would be a really good, solution to this issue right now. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. Do you think that the current laser sights cluster up the loot pool, or do you just not care that much? Leave your thoughts down below. Now, since we're on the topic of the Apex devs and the changes they need to make in Apex, a dev actually recently revealed something very interesting about badges in Apex. So basically, every single time Respawn drops a new season, players always seem to have an issue receiving their badge rewards. And this was the exact same situation in season 14. Respawn only recently, fixed it like a couple of days ago, but this has been a big problem for seasons upon seasons upon seasons. So someone asked the game's technical designer over on Reddit, do you have a fix for the ranked rewards from last season not being given out properly? A ton of Preds have master badges on Xbox that should have Pred badges, and EA support is a dead end at times. And here's what the dev said: I've been trying to fix this for the past 6 months. My fix works 100% of the time in our dev environment, and so far 0% of the time in live. Because we've had a couple of times when we're sure we fixed it and then it turns out not to work, we've stopped making more public posts on this issue. We're working with a couple of Preds who we know are affected, and each time I think I've figured out why it wasn't working and we get an update out, we ask them to see if the fix is valid. If they confirm it's good, then we'll make a larger announcement. But if, as has been the case, it's another bust, then we've avoided getting people's hopes up and failing to deliver. At this point, we're considering a more significant rewrite of the underlying logic, just because it's neither clear why some players don't get the correct badge, nor why we can't actually fix them. Badges are a much more complex system than they might appear, and so EA support literally cannot do anything to help these players. We can't just give players these specific badges because of how the system is built. Though rewriting the badge system so that we can do exactly that is increasingly looking like it might be the best option. So there we have it, guys, some real true transparency from Respawn on why badges have not been working for so many seasons. Respawn is trying to actively fix the issue, but as they said, it is not simple as just, giving players badges. It's a whole game code, it's a game logic, and they have to rewrite the system to hopefully make it work 100% of the time. Now, I never really played ranked that much. I never tried actively to get to pred in ranked, so I personally don't have this issue. But if you guys have encountered this issue of not getting your pred badges or your master badges or whatever badges you don't receive at the new season, then hopefully Respawn is on the trajectory right now to hopefully fix this issue and players won't have to deal with this anymore. But we'll see. It's good that Respawn is being transparent and just talking to us, because I feel like everyone would appreciate this. Even if Respawn doesn't have a clear solution, transparency and honesty is just a good thing to give the community, because it kind of just tells us what's going on and it gives us a very realistic expectation of what's coming in Apex. So shout out to Respawn as well as the game's technical designer for making this post, because this was really appreciated, and hopefully Respawn does solve this issue very, very soon. So yeah, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. Now, to end off this video, guys, huge new content is currently on the way to Apex Legends, and it's actually going to be a crossover event between Apex and the Alien vs Predator series. For you guys out there who don't know what Alien vs Predator is, then you're revealing your age, because everybody should know what Alien vs Predator is. Like, come on. But yeah, it looks like Respawn is currently gearing up to do a crossover with this early 2000s movie series based on these skin leaks I'm going to show you guys in a sec, and also based on in-game files. So according to Crowlindo, who was one of the most notorious data miners in the Apex community, this will be the Season 14 collection event, and this event will be called Hunter Predator. And we currently have leaked skins for Gibby, the car SMG, and the longbow. So take a look at this image real quick. As you guys can see, Gibby is really pale. He almost looks like Prometheus, which is the main protagonist from the Alien vs Predator series. We also have a car SMG skin, which looks very Alien vs Predator inspired, and we also have a longbow skin as well. So are you guys excited for this Alien vs Predator crossover with Apex? This would be the collection event. This is going to be the Season 14 collection event, and it's looking like Loba is going to be getting an heirloom in this collection event as well. So I'm very interested to see how Respawn is going to tie this event in with Loba's heirloom, because I feel like, well, I guess Loba, kind of ties in with the hunt in a certain sense, because she's a wolf and wolves tend to hunt. So I mean, most likely Respawn will find some way to pull all of this together. But are you guys excited? As always, leave your thoughts down below. New content is on the way. I recently made a quick post on Twitter saying that I'd love to see more LTMs, more content in Apex outside of the regular scheduled LTMs, in the collection event and towards the end of a season. I feel like Respawn just needs to give us more content throughout a season, and even though this is just a collection event and we've seen these collection events every single season, I always get very excited to see what Respawn is working on. So again, guys, leave your thoughts down below. What do you think of this event so far, the leaked skins, all that good stuff? And also leave your thoughts down below on laser sights. Do you think that laser sights need to be removed? And also, what do you think of Respawn potentially reworking the way that badges are given out to players in Apex Legends? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. I read every single comment, and that's it for me today. I'll see you guys in some more Apex. Till next time.